This media is titled Woman Pool, and it's from ArtGrid, and it is pretty cool. It's of this chick floating in a pool and swimming underwater, and it's captured with an Ari Amira camera, which I love. First thing I'm going to do is just check my project settings, look at my color management. I'm going to go HDR DaVinci Wide Gamma Intermediate, and my output color space is Rec 709 Gamma 2.4, which is what my grading monitor is set to. You may have something different. Set accordingly. I need to highlight all of these clips here, right click, and I'm going to select my input space. Wait, I can't do that here. I'm going to do that in the media page. Oh, God damn it. Sorry, in the color page. So we're going to select all of our clips, and we're going to go to input color space, and I'm going to change the input color space to ARRI-log C3. I'm just going to check ARRI-log C4 just to see if anything looks nicer there. That's a brand new log from ARRI, and okay, this camera clearly was not using that. That looks like garbage. So we're going to go back to log C. And you can see that DaVinci Resolve has done a nice color transform internally once we let it know which camera that this footage was captured on. So this one's easy. This is captured in the sun. We got a nice white balance. So I'm going to go to, this doesn't have any, this clip has no sunlight on the face. So I'm going to start from this one. I'm going to make this the master here. Opening up my scopes. I like to start with the vector scope to get white balance. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to bring up my little qualifier here, and I'm going to find a black area, and I'm going to correspond with the vector scope. I want this area to sit somewhere more neutral. So I'm just using my printer light keys, and I'm looking at the black area here, and I want to get that somewhere more neutral. So that's nice. Before after. Getting some nice warmth there. This looks more of a like beauty type shot. Looks to be more of a beauty type shot for me. So I think the warmth will be nice. I mean, we could stay with the currently trendy cold tones, but I'm not going to right now. Let's see. Now I need to bring in, I'm going to do a little Kodak print film emulation here. Kodak 2383 print emulation. I will make a LUT for that, which will be available on Chromineer in the LUT shop. Now, I'm going to go over to the waveform, and I am looking at the skin here. This is a very bright skin. So I want the skin to fall around like 40, 50 on the waveform monitor. That's just what I like. Let's see here. I like a darker vibe because I'm a darker guy. Yeah, look at that. Very nice. I'm just gonna full screen that. Hopefully that's still recording. Very nice. Wow. Good job, lady. Now I think I'm gonna add in a little bit of contrast, and I'm just gonna do that with my standard contrast slider over here. Not gonna go, let's see, I'm not gonna go too intense there, I don't think. That's nice. Stop there. New node. I'm gonna go over to my HSL curves, hue saturation, and I'll push that up just a little. That's pretty darn sweetness. Another new node. I'm going to go to my color warper. I'm going to set it at 16. And I am going to create, I'm going to pull the vector scope here. I'm going to create kind of like a teal and orange type deal. Let's see, waveform, vector scope. I want to see the skin tone indicator. I like that. There we go. Just messing around here. Okay, and now on the opposite end, I'm going to get everything over into a nice kind of bluey teal. So we have a nice complementary color palette happening. Très importante. I'll leave a little bit of magenta here on the flares because I kind of like that. So before, after, so we got a nice skin tone going. This is where we started from. This is where we are. I'm happy so far. Wow, am I happy. I'm going to add a little bit of compression. And just so you can see how I did that, I used the S-curves. Just look something like this. Have a look. Breathe it in. Apply if you like. Density, I use a DCTL called Film Density OFX DR17. And what that does essentially is just drops down the luminance value in hues and in different color channels, so red, green, and blue. And it kind of adds more saturation, a little bit darker luminance to the image, more like perceptually. So it's adding these things without really adding them, if that makes any sense. So that's a nice filmic look there. I'm going to add a little bit of grain. I'm going to add some halation. I'm going to sharpen it, do a little film blur. And I'm probably going to add a little vignette as well, because why not? So now let's take a look. Started from here, the bottom. Now we're here. And I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. So now we're going to go over to other shots. I'm just going to copy that over directly and see what happens. Oh, wow. Pretty terrible. See if I can just boost up the luminance there and get lucky. Now she's in the shadow here, so we're not going to have the same skin tone value. Just got to remember that. So I'm probably going to go this. Just going back and forth. That's already a good match. Look how fast I am. Now let's try with this shot here. Oh, wow, that's way off. I can't even believe it. Kind of cool, though. Anyways, I'm just going to reset my exposure and balance node there. I'm going to go to her skin. I'm going to dial this down until her average skin tone is somewhere around 50. Feels appropriate because the underwater one was around 40. So this should be naturally a little bit brighter. And let's look at something black. I'm pulling up our vector scope here. So I'm going to add a little more. Oops. I'm going to add a little more orange there, a little more magenta. And I think, let's see. I think just because, like, out of the water here, this shot seems to be much more saturated than the one down below. So I'm going to remove the saturation boost there just to keep it in line with what we have underwater. Maybe I'll bring back a little bit. I'm just going to dial the hue saturation, the HSL curve there. I'm just going to key that down a little bit so it's not as noticeable. Let's see, boom. Okay, so let's see what we got here. I mean, that to me is good and done, and we're there. Hello. Taking my screenshots here. Cool. So that's it.